David!
Number 10. Helping David secure a better buyout. Through his job at Blouse Barn, David learns the value of work and the true meaning of tax write-offs. When David's poor financial decisions force Wendy to sell the business's name to a retailer, Alexis helps him negotiate a superior deal.
You're not good under pressure.
And you are?
I'm sorry, were you picked up by the South Korean secret police on New Year's? I had to sweet talk the consulate's lawyer to get me a passport before midnight.
Since David and Alexis haven't been very practical with money in the past, you wouldn't expect their tactics to be effective. Alexis in particular, however, is surprisingly good at playing an intimidating lawyer.
Well, I do feel better having a lawyer in the room.
Oh my god, you're so cute. I'm not a lawyer, but I am glad that my fashion pony is working.
She also knows how to dress the part and even comes up with a catchy name for her new persona.
Angelica Bloomfield, of Rose Bloomfield and Glickman.
Walking away with enough money for Wendy to retire, David and Alexis prove themselves to be smarter and more capable than anyone anticipated. It's reminiscent of Legally Blonde, minus the blonde.
We're standing in your way, and I don't think your client will be very happy if you come home without securing the rights to the name, especially considering you're expanding into 78 stores across North America, and let's be honest, Blouse House doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
Exactly.
Angelica, please.
Number 9. Alexis may be wearing a wedding dress. Even when she isn't trying, Alexis inadvertently makes herself the center of attention. Wearing white to a wedding that isn't your own is one thing, but Alexis dons what is clearly a wedding dress for David and Patrick's big day.
What is that?
Thank you, David.
Of course, Alexis is in denial, claiming that it's just a floor-length gown that happens to be white. She also has a fancy way of saying veil.
This is not a wedding dress, it's a white floor-length gown. It's very different.
Did it come with a veil?
No, it came with a headdress.
What?
It isn't until the ceremony that Alexis realizes she might be wearing a wedding dress.
Like, I think I'm wearing a wedding dress.
Oh, I know that.
Instead of dwelling on her fashion choice, David takes this opportunity to tell Alexis how proud he is of her.
But for what it's worth, I am continuously impressed by you.
She returns the favor by walking him down the aisle.
Hey, I love you.
Simply the best.
Although they argue frequently, these siblings are there for each other when it counts. Number 8. Telling a client that their cat died. Having grown up surrounded by money, Alexis doesn't have a ton of work experience.
This is like the first job you've ever had.
No, it isn't.
Putting your name on a line of edible nail polish isn't what I would call having a job.
When Alexis lands a job as Ted's receptionist, she quickly establishes that filing and answering phones are not her strong suits. She may not be the most professional employee, but Alexis makes up for this with her people skills. After Doris's cat Mittens passes, Ted isn't sure how to break the news. It's Alexis who ultimately lets the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, he's dead. But the good news is, you're not.
What starts off as a cringeworthy exchange ends on a comforting note as Alexis consoles Doris. Good bedside manner doesn't come to everyone naturally, but Alexis shows how essential empathy and social skills are in a profession like this. She even sets up a love connection in the process.
The upside, is that Albert from down the hall can now come over for dinner without worrying about his allergies threatening his life. Hey, I think it's time that we find you a new love of your life.
Number 7. Saying David, especially if preceded by ew.
It's like a witch's house in here, David.
Shush!
How could we have this list without her catchphrase?
Oh, yay, David! Yay!
Alexis and David share one of the most relatable sibling relationships we've ever seen on TV.
Okay, you tried parallel parking in a burqa, David.
While they do love each other, there are times, especially in the beginning, when they'd gladly see the other murdered.
You know what, David? You get murdered first for once.
No, you get murdered
David,
first.
you get murdered first.
No, you!
Yes, you get
do
murdered
it.
first! David, you get murdered first!
Alexis encapsulates all of this animosity by simply exclaiming her brother's name, oftentimes adding an ew for good measure.
Oh my god, ew, David!
Without even realizing it at first, actress Annie Murphy turned "Ew, David" into an endlessly quotable line. It may not seem like anything special on paper, but thanks to Alexis's distinctive voice and delivery, this phrase has found its way onto merchandise, memes, and more. While it's hard to single out our favorite David, Alexis's apology regarding a neglected text deserves a shout-out.
I'm sorry for not responding to like one text, David.
Number 6, her emotional growth with Ted. Early on, Alexis seems destined to end up with Mutt, while Ted fills the thankless other guy position. Mutt becomes the other guy, however, although it takes Alexis some time to realize that Ted is better suited for her.
You're the perfect boyfriend, Ted.
Thank you.
But
I knew there was a but.
no, there is no but. But you're just not the perfect boyfriend for me.
It isn't until she starts working with Ted that Alexis begins to truly mature as a person. Taking notice of her growth, Ted gives Alexis the confidence to go back to school. After Alexis declares her love for Ted, the two develop one of the show's healthiest relationships.
But the last thing I want to do is stand between you and this job. You've worked so hard, and I'm so proud of you.
Alexis loves Ted so much that she's willing to let him go to pursue his dream job. While they do handle long distance well, the two ultimately realize that they need to part ways in a bittersweet mutual breakup.
Can't say that we didn't try.
I love you, Ted.
I love you too.
Number 5, pursuing her dreams solo. Ted isn't the only one with dreams, which is why he lets Alexis go as well. Preparing to start a new life in New York, Alexis decides to give her extra dresses to Twyla. It turns out that Twyla could buy Alexis's whole wardrobe, as she won $46 million in the lottery a few years back.
You could be anywhere doing anything.
I have everything I need right here. And if I've learned anything from how my mom spent the money I gave her, it's that money can buy a lot of snowmobiles, but it can't buy happiness.
Inspired by Alexis to buy something that'll make her happy, Twyla purchases the cafe. In a genuine act of kindness, Twyla also gives Alexis a check for being there for her. Showing how far she's come, Alexis turns down the money, but gladly settles for Twyla's friendship.
Hey, I don't mean to tell you how to spend your money, but maybe you could use some of it to come visit me. I'd like that.
Alexis is ready to make it on her own, even after learning that her family won't be accompanying her to New York.
I think it means that I'm gonna be flying solo to New York. I've done it before and I can do it again.
Number 4, Singles Week speech. Ironically, Alexis is encouraged to confront her feelings for Ted while organizing Singles Week.
I'm in love with you.
Not expecting anything to come from her proclamation of love, Alexis channels her energy into the event. Ted remains on her mind, though, which becomes increasingly apparent when Alexis gives a beautifully written speech at Singles Week. Reflecting on her relationships with Mutt and Ted, Alexis realizes that the key to true love should have guided her in a different direction.
Sometimes a special little lock can come along that you didn't think would fit because it didn't look or act like the lock you thought you needed.
Alexis accepts her mistakes and prepares herself to find a new lock.
And now that lock has found another key. And you are so happy for it. You just need to accept that and find a new lock.
Ted has a few words for Alexis, however, displaying his affection for her during a game of musical chairs.
I'm Ted. I'm newly single. And I'd be kidding myself if I told you that I haven't wanted to do this every single day for the last 2 years.
Embracing with a highly satisfying kiss, Alexis and Ted unlock each other's hearts at long last. Number 3, anytime she has a story.
Voluntarily.
Yeah, the actual longest relationship was a 3-month affair with a Saudi prince, but for the last 2 months of that, I was trapped in his palace trying to get to an embassy.
Before arriving in Schitt's Creek, Alexis traveled around much of the world, from Bali to Johannesburg to Bangkok. The list goes on. Not only does her dating journey include a Saudi prince and a sultan's nephew, she was also taken hostage by pirates, escaped the Yakuza, and challenged a diamond smuggler to a game of pool.
You learn pretty quickly when you're in a Ugandan diamond smuggler's villa playing for your friend's freedom.
Right. Wait, what?
Alexis talks about her adventures so casually that they sometimes fly over our heads.
Okay. So if there's one thing I learned, is that when it comes to love, you cannot let the little things get in your way. Like, I once dated this sultan's nephew who was forbidden to talk to me or even to look at me, and we made it work for like half a regime change. So
if you connect all the dots, there is a reasonable argument backing the fan theory that Alexis is an undercover spy.
I don't think you can run in those.
Tell that to me at 21 escaping the Yakuza.
When asked about this theory, Annie Murphy replied, quote, "It makes so much sense to me." We'd love for Murphy to follow up on her idea for a little bit spy Lexus, as she put it.
Do I have to remind you of the time that I was taken hostage on David Geffen's yacht by Somali pirates for a week and nobody answered my texts?
I had just had my eyelashes dyed. Everything was cloudy.
Number 2, going back to school. Season 3 marks a major turning point for Alexis's character arc. Receiving support from Ted, Alexis decides to get her high school diploma.
This might sound crazy, but I almost think I should finish high school.
That doesn't sound crazy at all.
It's one of the first times in the series that Alexis wants to do something that'll help her grow more independent.
Okay, it's just that she never actually said, let them eat cake.
Well, that depends on who you ask.
Well, I asked Kirsten Dunst, who played her in the movie.
Being a social butterfly, it doesn't take long for Alexis to befriend a couple of young students. She also commits to doing her schoolwork, although her father gets a little too involved.
Oh, well, yes, I'm sure. Well, your research was all over.
Dad, what did you do to my paper?
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything with your paper. Your laptop was open. I did a little editing, nothing major.
I have been accused of plagiarism.
Despite that hiccup and a lice infestation, Alexis makes it through the semester with passing grades. It looks like Alexis may have to celebrate this milestone alone. But Ted, Moira, and the Jazzagals all show up to her graduation.
Baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky.
Overall, we love that journey for Alexis.
I only stopped to cry like 3 times when I was voicing this list. Not a joke. Anyway, I will pull myself together long enough to read you some honorable mentions, and then we can celebrate with some champagne while we name our top time Alexis was the best character on Schitt's Creek.
Moira and Alexis have lunch. An awkward mother-daughter day out, to say the least.
Your daily exercise, Richie.
What are you looking at?
It's a napkin.
Let me see this. You had to prepare questions?
I wouldn't categorize them as questions exactly.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
That's one of the questions. It's right after, how is your job at the animal hospital?
Alexis's middle name. It's Claire, for the record.
Do you not know my middle name?
Of course I do. I blessed you with it.
Okay, so, then what name should I put down then?
Alexis, do as your mother says, please.
Do you know my middle name?
If I said Anna.
I can't believe this.
Alexis gets sick. Moira shows a modicum of motherly instinct after Mutt came to take care of her.
What the hell is going on, Alexis? I'm feeling something. Something debilitating. You're the ill one, but I'm feeling this.
Turtle instinct, maybe?
No, that's not it.
The wink. Alexis suspects that Patrick isn't into her, but maybe into David.
So, like, if you're sensing a vibe or something, maybe that means that his eye is on somebody else.
He's a business major that wears straight-legged, mid-range denim. He's not into me.
Tamagotchi negligence. Those poor digital pets.
You can trust me.
Okay, can I? Because the last time I left you in charge of something...
Ugh! This is about those stupid Tamagotchis?
Actually, it is.
Okay, guys. You left me with 6 of them, David. Taking care of that many is like a full-time job.
I left you with 6 adult Tamagotchis in perfect health, and by the time I came home, they were all dead.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A little bit Alexis. Given her eccentric background, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Alexis was a reality TV star, albeit not for long.
The producers of A Little Bit Alexis insisted that I take acting classes after we started shooting, so.
A Little Bit Alexis might not have been critically acclaimed, but we can safely say it was critically reviewed.
I have chosen to perform the title track off of my critically reviewed limited reality series, A Little Bit Alexis. Ooh. Feel free to sing along if you know the words.
Okay.
In the hopes of landing a role in Cabaret, Alexis auditions with the title track from her show. Well, at least it's a song that'll play to her strengths as a performer. Actually, this scene pretty much sums up why Alexis isn't cut out for the stage.
I'm a Lamborghini. I'm a Hollywood star. I'm a little bit tipsy when I drive my car. I'm expensive sushi. I'm a cute, huge yacht.
On the plus side, Annie Murphy's tone-deaf singing and uncomfortable dancing define why we love this character. Although Schitt's Creek ended on a high note after 6 seasons, this moment leaves us wanting a little bit more Alexis.
I'm a little bit of la 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 la. A little bit Alexis. La 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 la. A little bit Alexis.
Okay, yes.
La la la.
Wonderful.
I will refrain from trying to recreate the A Little Bit Alexis dance. You're welcome. Anyway, isn't it that much better knowing that Annie Murphy had a hand in writing the song? It's cute. Join us in the comments and tell us your favorite part of Alexis's journey. Or come talk to me on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton or on my YouTube channel. Bye.